So what's the problem with actinos? Well, the more we know about them, the more we realize that the problem is not their existence or their presence in our skin or even in the environment. The problem is a dysbiosis problem. There's an imbalance specifically in the pH. And this is true in all three cases, whether it's the indoor space, the skin, or mucosal linings. There seems to be the common denominator is that there's some kind of imbalance that involves the pH. When we talk about pH, we're talking about acidity versus alkalinity, right? And each of these different environments is going to have their own levels of normal pH balancing. But it turns out that actinobacteria thrive in highly alkaline environments. It's a very favorable environment for them to grow and sort of take over and become opportunistic. And here's the problem. Modern life, if you think of, and we'll go over some examples, but modern life is riddled with high alkalinity. This is kind of how we've set up modern life in many ways. So much of our modern lifestyle revolves around practices that promote high alkalinity in our environment and in our body, specifically in our skins and mucosal tissues. And then on top of that, we have CIRS. CIRS is the final trigger because CIRS pushes our skin and mucosal linings into a highly alkaline state. So let's think about some examples of factors that drive high alkalinity in indoor environments. Well, the most notable one is water damage, water intrusion. No surprise there, right? That when you have water intrusion in the interior of a building, you're going to create a highly alkaline environment. But there's also going to be building materials that are favorable for that to happen. Drywall and even concrete or cement can, especially depending on some of the other attributes or chemicals used to cover the cement layer, depending on those things, these surfaces are very prone for alkalinity. They may at baseline be slightly alkaline, but then when you start adding all these other factors, they can turn extremely alkaline. Poor ventilation. That can lead to things like accumulation of ammonia gases, and ammonia is highly alkaline. Water quality. So the water that we use in our pipes, if it's hard water, very hard water, that can also induce a state of high alkalinity. And then tied to this, cleaning products. So ammonia, bleach, borax, baking soda, highly alkaline. So it's really interesting because when I was coming up into the community and the Facebook groups and those kinds of things, I heard a lot of people talking about using ammonia, right? And a lot of people would be like, no, I want to use ammonia. It's ammonia that I have to use for molds. Well, maybe there's a benefit there, but then you want to think about the benefit risk assessment here. And in this context, this could be backfiring down the line if you're using a product that's just alkalinizing the indoor space over and over. And actually, the more I thought about this, I actually think this is one of the main reasons why bleach doesn't go well with a lot of patients. It might be the high alkalinity. I don't think it's the only factor, but I think it might be a big one that may be contributing to this. And then, of course, pollution from outdoor air. If there's like nearby big construction sites and a lot of the chemicals and the particles that are coming, they could induce a sort of highly alkalinized state inside your environment.